Everything is working. Waiting for you to tell me in the chat room. You are watching the return of the Murtz Show on Spreecast. I'm very unnerved by the fact. Okay, there. Thank you, Keith. Okay, the return of the Murtz Show. Why were we away for so long is a subject that I do not want to chat about at this time, but suffice to say, we were on a very extended hiatus. I'm very glad it's over. I'm very excited about returning back to Spreecast. I'm excited to have a guest tonight that I have wanted on the show for a very long time. You know, it was kind of like the bane of my existence that I couldn't get our surprise guest. And if you follow me on Twitter, you already know. But for the people that don't, um, the surprise guest tonight, I wanted to have on this show a long time ago, and I couldn't do it. And it was kind of like, you know, when you have that one thing, like when you're good at like getting reality people on your show, and then you can't get that one, and it's sort of like a cloud that hangs over you. That's what tonight's guest was for me. A black cloud that I just could not get on this show, and I have finally managed to convince her. So I'm very excited. The surprise guest will be Paige. Now, I was going to say Paige Vigil, but when we were off the air, I think she said something like Paige Vigil. Um, so we're going to have to get a clarification on that. I should have actually been paying better attention. But when she comes on, she will correct me. Now, for those of you that don't know, Paige was also on Bachelor Pad. She was on The Bachelor. She was eliminated in the season. Was it the season premiere? Yeah, I guess it was. Only one episode. So I want to ask her about that. I want to get her take on the other girls. I want to ask her really about Sean Lowe for sure, because Sean Lowe has been a major surprise. I thought that this guy would be a total dud. I thought that he was a blonde firestone, but he is surprisingly pretty good. He's actually probably one of my favorite bachelors. Now, Paige also is a super fan, and so I'm going to ask her about the chupacabra of bachelors. Who is the chupacabra of bachelors? Byron Vavrick. Do you remember Byron Vavrick? That's what I'm going to ask Paige about. We'll see if she remembers him. Let's get it started. Oh, and by the way, Paige, I must really, really like you if I'm missing the American/Murtzican Idol premiere, which I haven't missed ever. But I really want you on this show. Let's bring her on.
Hi, Murtz.
Paige, welcome to the Murtz Show.
Thank you. Thank you for missing American Idol for me. That's so
It's
nice
actually a
of you.
Murtzican Idol, but I will let you. I'll let it go.
Oh, excuse
Okay,
me.
Paige.
Hi.
I'm so excited. I feel like this is my first interview with like Dr. Will, you know, and I was so giddy that I finally got him to agree to an interview that I didn't even know what to ask him. I was like a screaming girl at a One Direction concert, and that's kind of how I feel.
Oh,
That's kind of how I feel about tonight's show. So, I guess I want to start with that whole Bachelor.
maybe you mean,
Oh, good.
I was going to say, maybe you mean Chris Bukowski at a One Direction concert, if we all know
I have a lot of
about that.
opinions about Chris Bukowski, but we will save those for later in the show. He's a very interesting character, and I find him a lot more interesting off the show than on the show, which might surprise a lot of people. Okay, so we'll talk about him in a second. I really want your take on the whole like putting fans in the house, you know, on Bachelor Pad, because it was such a weird thing to do. Like, I mean, Survivor has done fans versus favorites. MTV does the fresh meat thing where they bring new people against exes. And ultimately, whenever this happens, Survivor's doing it again in a month or in a couple of weeks. Like, the fans get obliterated. So, what is the point?
I mean, I think it was the right idea, but the wrong execution. I think that it would have been better if there was an equal amount of fans and alumni in the house, and if the alumni were forced to pair up with a fan. So that way, the fans really would have stood a chance to be able to stick around. Unfortunately, that obviously wasn't the case. I knew that I was going in with a target on my back. And as a fan, I was just excited to meet Chris Harrison and be able to be there. And, it was a cool experience for me. And the Bachelor family has treated me really well. So sorry, these earbuds suck. So I'm going to keep touching my face.
That's okay. I do that anyway, even without earbuds. Um, does it really irritate you? Like it makes me want to scream my lungs out when I see Chris Harrison come out with it with his little like wine glass that I'm sure he doesn't even drink, and he goes like, "That is literally the most irritating thing on television by far." And the most awkward.
I mean, I can't say that I necessarily agree or
Okay,
disagree
that's
with you.
fine. I
I've
can read the
never
subtext,
really.
Paige. I can read the subtext. Because if you liked it, you'd be like, oh, I love
What
that
is
part.
the subtext? I'm really genuinely never thought about
It,
it.
I, oh,
I haven't. Like, it's never crossed my
I
mind.
love to, I love to hate it. That's how I feel about it. Like some of the, I don't know, Chris Harrison, I feel like has a pretty tough job because it's such an over the top, like cheesy show, and I feel like he embraces the
Yeah.
cheesiness, which only makes it even cheesier. You know?
I mean, he has to. Like if he didn't embrace the cheesiness, that would just not even be able to like play into the
It's
cheesiness.
true.
He needs it. He's the cheese master. Let him be the cheese master,
It's
Mert.
true. It's true. Okay, so tell me about now. You were partnered with was it Reed Rosenthal?
Mhm.
What do you think about Reed? Because I remember when he was on
Yeah.
Jillian's season, this guy was like everybody loves the guys on Jillian's season. That seems to be a universal thing, like. So what was it about Reed? Why do guys everybody wanted him to be the Bachelor? So is he really that nice? Because he came off a little bit, he didn't come off the same way on Bachelor Pad that he did on the Bachelorette.
I mean, honestly, I think the world of Reed. He was so incredibly nice to me, and when everyone else was trying to get the super fans out of the house, it played out in real life exactly how you saw it play out on screen, where he really was on the fans' side, and he did pull for me, and he did try to get me to stick around. And I remember standing in the kitchen, and there was like a big group of guys standing down by the pool, kind of conspiring about what they were going to do, and he went down there and they said that they wanted to kick me out. And he was like, I don't really want that, so he did really like, stick his neck out for me. And that could have, and maybe it did, I don't know, cost him, a little bit of like episodes down the line. But, I'll always appreciate that. I thought that was really sweet of him. And, he's a good guy. I did really like him on the show. I think that the feeling was mutual. I don't really know, but nothing happened with us afterwards. I get that question a lot.
I thought we weren't supposed to talk about relationships. See how good I'm being, and you're like,
I can talk about my relationship with
oh,
Reed.
really? Okay, cool. All right. Well, that opens up like the whole like page two of notes that I have here that I like ripped up already. Um, I wanted to ask you about like when you were partnered with somebody that's already been on the show. Was it kind of like they were sort of like not really liked by the other people that had already been on? Like, I guess a better way to put that is, were you not liked by everybody if they stuck you with a fan? Like if you had to be partnered with a fan, that must meant that everybody else didn't really like Reed, or is that just a wrong perception?
I think that's a pretty incorrect perception, actually, because as soon as Chris Harrison came out and he said, everyone team up, it wasn't, you know, I think it was maybe just a couple of seconds afterwards, and then Reed was like, "Hey, Paige, do you want to be partners?" It wasn't like, he was the last man standing by any
Right.
means. He asked me to be his partner right off the bat.
And do you think that that's like just sort of speaking it's almost funny to say this, like speaking as a fan of the show, which I know you are. So let's just go back to like Paige before the show. So let's go to like Paige, the fan of the show.
Okay.
Wouldn't you think that
Okay.
strategically that's a bad move to like align yourself with like a fan since the fans are obviously going to go first?
I mean, maybe, but I think maybe just Reed was a fan of the underdogs, and he was obviously pulling for us. And SWAT at the end of the day was kind of the swing vote there. So if he would have kept me around, then our plan would have been successful.
Now here's the thing, Paige. This is the question that has been burning a hole in my Murtz heart for so long. I'm so glad that I can finally ask it. Did you almost feel like, because see, originally when I wanted to interview you after the Bachelor Pad, my question would have been, out of all the fans that were there, I felt like you were the only one that I could see on an actual season of The Bachelor. And so I guess at the time, my question would have been, did you almost feel like you got the short end of the stick by being on Bachelor Pad? Because I feel like you would have done much better on a regular season of The Bachelor. But now that you've tasted both, I think you can really speak to that.
Yeah. You know, No, not necessarily. I never felt like I got the short end of the stick by any means. I mean, on The Bachelor, you obviously get the chance to travel, and that was really great. But as a fan going into the Bachelor Pad house, I got to meet a bunch of the alums that I wouldn't have met if I was new going in on The Bachelor. And obviously, I didn't have the best luck on The Bachelor, and I don't know if my luck would have necessarily been any different had I done The Bachelor before The Bachelor Pad. But I was the first person to make the transition from the Bachelor Pad to the Bachelor,
Oh,
and
wow, look at that. Yes, that is
I
that.
wouldn't,
Look at that. I'm making
yeah,
a note of that in my like no, reality like Hall of Fame records.
yeah. So I mean, I wouldn't have it in any other way. I got to have my own experience that no one else has really got to have, and I hold that close to my heart. So
Um, I the whole thing about like Sean, I had a feeling, Paige, that you were going to be on the next season of The Bachelor. I just had a feeling about it. I was not surprised at all. So how did that go down? Was it a now? Is it Cassie or I always say her name wrong and she always gets mad. Casey or Cassie?
Casey,
Casey. Okay, so Casey. Like I felt like
yes.
her whole angle on the show was that she had met Sean and she really wanted to like go on the show to get a chance to see if there's any chemistry. Was it similar to you? Like, did
Hmm.
you call producers saying, "Oh my gosh, what is Emily Maynard thinking? I want what she doesn't," or was it just a case of like they just wanted you on the next season of The Bachelor?
No, I mean, as soon as I knew that Sean was going to be the Bachelor, of course I wanted to go. Who wouldn't? I think that, his morals and his values seemed like they really would have aligned with mine. I loved the practical jokes that he played because I kind of fancy myself a bit of a jokester myself. So I kind of thought that we would have gotten along. Obviously, that didn't work out. But, I think that he was a little bit leery of the fact that I had been on the Bachelor pad before. And I don't know, maybe he thought that I was there for the
Yep.
wrong reasons, which definitely wasn't the case. I went on for him, and I really wanted to fall in love, and I still do. And um, I don't know, it's sad that, he didn't really give me the chance.
Has your impression of him changed then because he like cut you with no remorse?
No,
So you still think he's like a
no.
stand-up guy, still like a nice guy, still like a Superman with blonde hair, but on an ABC reality show?
Essentially, yeah, that he can be someone else's Superman now. I'll go find my own. It's fine. I'll live. Like, I'm not that bent out of shape about it. Like, obviously, I wish that I could have stuck around on the show a little bit longer and gotten to know him. I think, like, the most insulting part was, like, obviously, he kept some girls who had maybe drank too much over me, and I hadn't drank too much. So I was like, well,
Yeah, but I
okay,
mean,
that part was a little
I
insulting,
don't
but
think it's
the
it.
rest
Come
of it,
on, you
like,
gotta keep some of those freak shows on. This is a TV show.
okay, but for me, that was insulting.
I wouldn't take that as an insult whatsoever. Like because the thing is, Paige, I feel like this is the same reason that I thought you would go on The Bachelor is because you were the. I felt like out of all the fans, you were the only normal one. Like, okay, you had like Donna like shaking it, then you had like the twins. I was like, there's no way these people would ever be on a normal season. And in that regard, I felt like and don't be offended by this. I just shoot very straight. I felt like your vanilla nature I felt like would not really go over well in like a one in a one time like thing where you have to impress him just at one rose ceremony. Like I feel like you grow on people and you
Yeah,
didn't really have the time to grow.
it's true. I think my personality kind of comes through a little bit more as I get a little bit more comfortable with someone. And if, the shows have taught me anything, it's that I do a lot better in small groups versus large groups. So I get into the large group and I kind of, get nervous and jittery. And I think, that's kind of normal for a lot of people, but, whatever. It is what it is. It's kind of funny. You have to be able to laugh at yourself. And I do. I laugh at myself about it.
Um, I think this is a good time to take a question. Let's see. This one sounds interesting. From Curtis. Jacqueline Schwartz did a great impression of the Cookie Monster on Murtz's show. Do you think you can talk? I don't even remember that, Curtis. Although I don't think a lot of people remember a lot of things about that show.
I don't think I could top her. I don't even know what the Cookie Monster sounds like.
I thought I don't remember that at all. Curtis, tell me in the chat room because that sounds very interesting. I can't believe I don't remember that at all. Okay, what about this? Great question from Julia. What exactly does a jumbotron operator do?
Julia, I can answer that. I can't be the Cookie Monster, but I can tell you about the Jumbotron. So I controlled Viacom MTV's digital out-of-home network in Times Square. So all of the big advertising screens that you see in Times Square, I operated one of them. So essentially what would happen is the clients would send me video and I would pass it through a bunch of different broadcasting systems, which, you know, makes me a little bit of an AV nerd, and I would schedule the daily rotation on the screen for Viacom.
And you don't do that now, I think you were
Seriously?
telling me, right?
I don't do that anymore. I left that job when I went on the Bachelor pad and I moved back to Minneapolis, which is where I am originally from. And now I'm the general manager of an app development company called Atmosphere. And it is located here in Minneapolis. So, you know, if
I
anyone needs
was
an app,
just
you
going to
could
ask
call me
that.
up.
Oh my gosh, you just took the question right out of it. What would it take, Paige, to get a Murtz app?
And not, it wouldn't take a lot. We
Oh
can
my
talk about
god.
that merch.
Oh my god. This is like the greatest. I don't even want to do the interview anymore. I just want to like just that has been like the ultimate. That has been the ultimate goal. That's like sorry, I'm getting sidetracked.
Really?
Oh my gosh, I would freak out.
No.
There's so much stuff we could do, Paige. We could have like exclusive behind the scenes like reality content because I'm at all these finales, and then we could have like a Paige-ism thing since you're the one that made the app, so you have to sort of be in it, right? So like it would be kind of like a what would
Yeah.
Paige do in this scenario, you know? So like let's say somebody at Starbucks messes up your order,
WWD.
bam, what would Paige do? Probably just say it's okay, I'll just have a latte.
You know what? I do drink lattes, so you're right. That probably would
You
be what I
see?
would do.
Whereas I would like freak out and then I
Yeah.
would say, give me corporate's number so I can get free drinks for the next month.
Free drinks,
And I
yo.
have done that before. That's actually how I know that that works. How yeah, that's a little Starbucks tip for you. Um,
Okay, good to know. Good to
how does a
know.
jumbotron operator get instant replays to appear so quickly?
That is scheduled. So I would have a line item and I would just copy and paste it at the same time. It's a little bit difficult to explain, um, but essentially I just schedule it piece by piece, back to back.
Um, can we talk a little bit about this season?
Yeah, let's do
Okay,
it.
I am Team Paige and Team Casey. So now that Paige is gone after a very short stint, I'm 100% Team Casey. 100%. And do you feel like she has an unfair advantage? And my point to this is when I was watching those, like, entrances from the limo, it was so obvious. It was painfully obvious that Casey has done this before because she looked about a Murtzillion times better than everybody else.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I totally agree with you. I think the dress that she wore, you know, she totally stood out in her own way. She had this kind of like silent confidence about her. It didn't feel like forced. She didn't try and do any strange gimmick. You know, she just kind of went with it. But, you know, she had also met Sean before. So I think that was working to her advantage as well. Maybe she was a little bit less nervous. But yeah, I'm pulling for her too. I think that they would be an awesome couple.
You had to. Did you not get along with anyone? That's the thing here. We do here, Paige. Okay, like I feel like you get along with everybody. Was there anybody who proverbially like gave you the wrong latte at Starbucks?
Um, you know, I hate to say it.
Yes.
I really do. Tiara rubbed me the wrong way a little, and I don't know what it was. I cracked a joke at some point, and she just looked at me like I don't even remember what the joke was, but I remember the look, and it was
I feel like that's the look you always
like
gave on
she
the
I
show.
don't know. Yeah, you're right. I kind of had that look like permanently on
Right?
my face on The Bachelor. Yeah, I was like, I look really crabby. But no, she just kind of gave me this snarky look. I think something about like I don't know, we just like didn't really get each other. But I don't know, maybe she's really great, and I just didn't really get to see it. I have no idea.
Do you know what kills me about that scene that they keep showing in the previews, which I know we can talk about because it's in the previews, is like that whole like neck brace thing. You know what kills me about that is why is she wearing like this like see-through shirt and why is nobody else talking about it?
Is she wearing a see-through shirt?
Yeah, go
Well,
back and
no
look.
one's focused on the see-through shirt. Everyone's focused on the
Well,
neck
I
brace,
am sorry,
duh.
okay? Sorry I'm a guy, okay? I apologize for being a man, okay? Um, Go back on your DVR and rewatch it because, okay, yeah, okay, she's getting a neck brace, okay, but look at the shirt.
Okay.
And
Okay.
then
I'll go
get
back
back
and
to me
I'll look at
because
the shirt.
it's I know it's okay, I don't know. I mean, I am one of those people that like slows down to watch the accident on the highway, okay? So sorry if I noticed it, but um
I'm not gonna lie, I do that too. It's hard not to. You
everybody
feel so
does,
bad, like you
Paige.
want to help, but then there's other people there. I don't know what to do. It's just awkward.
Yeah, but you definitely every human being looks, okay? Don't try to pretend like you're Mother Teresa and you don't.
I
Oh, not
totally
you. I'm just
look.
speaking generally. Like, oh, those people like that are like, oh, I never stop. That's horrible. Whatever. Let's see. All
Why
right.
would anyone say that's horrible? I feel like it would be horrible if you didn't stop.
That's what I think. Well, I mean, for different reasons. Like, you probably want to stop to help. Me, I just want to take photos and, like, maybe, go on the news or something as, like, a witness. Um,
All right, all right.
so, what did you think about Sean's revelation that he likes chocolate milk? Because that hit me like a ton of bricks.
That he likes chocolate
Yes.
milk. Um, I actually just saw a story on What Paint. I think it was like today or yesterday, something saying that like Sean's last
Yeah.
girlfriend was actually chocolate
Yes.
milk, and he
Yes. It's a good
said,
way of putting it. A lot
so
of thought
I
went into that, Paige.
golf clap.
Yes.
So I don't really know like how much of a revelation that necessarily was, but I think that it's really great that he's looking for someone that has the qualities that, he wants on the inside and that he doesn't really have like a physical type. Because, I have to say, even like for myself, the older I get, the less of a type I have. So,
Um, I definitely agree, and I think that the reason that I also like saw that story that you're referring to is because I was just like, oh, he's just saying that. There's no way. I'm like, this guy is so. In Canada, we have a term that's called caker, and caker refers to just like somebody that's just so Caucasian. Somebody that like plays hockey and somebody that like only eats like cereal in the morning and stuff. And I was like, there's no way this guy has experienced different types of girls. Like he's all about like the Kelly Taylor, the
right.
blonde hair, the blue eyes. And I thought he was just saying that so he came off that he was like diverse. But when I saw the story, I'm like, oh, wait a minute, he actually did have a girlfriend.
Am I a caker?
I'm still deciding. Well, cake, you can only call a Canadian a caker. So an American would probably
Okay,
be like a
so
muffiner
I'm
or something.
okay.
What?
I said, so I'm okay. I also don't eat cereal unless it's dry cereal with no milk. So I must not be a
Okay, well
caker.
then let me give you the Sean test. Have you ever had chocolate milk?
I have had a chocolate vanilla swirl. Okay, that sounds really
I,
bad.
I know, and I was. You just heard my next question, which again I will save. I will save for off air. Let's just say I was going to ask you about a particular animal at the zoo, and you know exactly what I'm thinking of. I know you do. Um.
I really don't know about the animal at the
Okay.
zoo,
Well,
but I'm just laughing about what I just said because that sounded
I
so
don't. Th- I
horrible.
don't think. I don't
Then
think.
what I
I
I
genuinely don't think it sounded that bad. I would tell you if I did.
okay, well,
Uh,
I'm gonna like cry because I'm laughing. Okay, all right. I need to pull it together. My immaturity is getting the best
Okay,
of
this is
me.
a good time for us to take a break while you gather yourself. This is usually when I like to remind people to please hit the tweet button. You will find that in your top window. You can also use the hashtag Murtz Show. It should have been in there already. Maybe one of my
Okay,
producers can add that in there, and you can do that automatically. We are back. Oh wait, Paige, why are you making a face?
are we doing an
No,
intermission?
no, no. This is like a 3 second intermersion while I like remind people to do all the social network stuff.
Yeah, everyone,
Okay,
social
perfect.
network.
All right, so then we are back on the
People
Merch Show. Shows will be coming up. I've already lined up some pretty stellar guests. Stellar. That's all I'm gonna say. So keep it tuned. I think they're probably gonna be on the weekends now. So probably
What
Saturday.
are their
What's that?
initials? What are their initials?
What if the other people that I've lined up?
Yeah.
No, but
Give
I
us a
thought you
hint.
only,
Like
yeah,
an
but you're only a
idea.
Bachelor super fan, so all these other reality shows, they won't mean anything to you, right?
Yeah, but maybe it'll mean something to everyone else. You should give them a hint.
No, because that's how I drop hints on my Twitter. That's how I increase my page. It's a whole system here, okay? It's a whole social networking like system here, okay? Hence the surprise guest.
Okay, you do your system.
I'm very distracted too. I have all these questions, but now all I keep thinking about is like how you can make apps, and that's all I want in my life. That's literally all I want. I can die tomorrow if I have an app.
Okay, well, don't die tomorrow because it takes a lot longer to build an app than one day.
Really?
So, yeah, surprise.
Okay. Let's take another question. Did you watch Sean on Jimmy Kimmel last night? Did he give away the winner? I didn't, so I don't know.
I didn't watch Sean on Jimmy Kimmel. I'm assuming he wouldn't give away the winner. I'm sure he wants all of us to be surprised. I don't even know, so
Oh, whatever. You don't know?
I really don't know, and I don't want to know. Why would I want to know?
That's all I want. That's all I'm doing. The whole time I'm just like calculating like how many minutes did she speak in her interview versus how many minutes did she speak in her interview? Why are they giving her more time? Oh wait, let's talk about that girl. Okay, I got in trouble when I was on Jenna's show on Monday for my opinions. Wait, what's that substitute teacher's name? Desiree. Des. Yes. Okay. Let me tell you this. I
Desiree or
really want.
Lindsay? Because I know no. Lindsay's a teacher. Desiree is a designer.
Yeah, Desiree's the one who works in the bridal shop, right?
Yeah.
The one who like broke the art or whatever. Okay, her. Now, when I saw their like hot tub scene, everybody seems to be Team Dez. Oh, he's totally gonna pick Dez. Now, I'm sorry, Paige. To me, it came off like he was like kissing his sister. Okay, there wasn't. I just didn't feel the heat. I just did not feel the heat. Was there chemistry? Yes. Would they have great conversation over lattes at Starbucks? Yes. But I did not feel the carnal like passion, which is what I like to see on this show. How did you feel about it, and how do you feel like that scene came off?
Okay, so I can agree with you a little in the fact that it wasn't like hands in the hair hot, but at the same time, like it was their
Right.
first kiss. Like, what do you want him to do? You know what I mean? Like, I think we have to give it a little bit of a chance to really develop. And I think, like you said, right now they would have great conversations at Starbucks, which is what they should have on a first date. So give it a little bit of time because I think they're gonna get there. I really like her, and when I met her, she seemed like she was really sweet and really genuine, and definitely there for the right reasons. And she had no problem talking to everyone. She was really really cool. So
I need a
I hope
little
that
bit
she
of
makes it really
villainness,
far.
okay? Like I need a little bit of like Natalie Getz. I need a little bit of like Trish. I need a little bit of wait, who's the model? See, I told you I was bad at these names. I'm still trying to like remember the names. The one who won the romance novel thing.
Christy.
Yes. See, I mean, I'm telling you, there was more heat in their like romance cover than that entire scene with Desiree.
Okay, but was the heat coming from her or from him?
I mean, I feel like
Plus, he keeps being like, I want someone who's my best friend, who my best friend, my best friend, my best friend. Like, I don't know if he wants, something that's going to be that quick flame that's going to burn really quickly. I think he would rather have like the slow flame that lasts a
I
lifetime.
know, but I feel like I don't know. The thing is, he goes on and on and on about like how he's the man and he's gonna protect his girl and blah blah blah. But really, I feel like any girl that ends up with Sean Lowe is gonna be the one wearing the pants. I just feel like he's a little bit of a pushover.
I mean, I think that's great if she gets to wear the pants.
I feel like you would
What's
run
wrong
like
with that?
roughshod over this guy. Like if you ended up with Sean, I feel like you would be making all the decisions. You would decide whether you're living in, his house or your house. You would even tell him like, "Hey, here's your new job. Hey, I want 3 kids. Hey, I want to name the first kid Murtz." Like I feel like you would be making the decisions.
I mean, I wouldn't mind making the decisions.
I feel like that. I don't know. And at the same time, I feel like that's also, his pushover kind of nature. I feel like that's part of his charm. Like that's why I feel like he's such a great bachelor. That's why I feel like, I mean, Casey must feel like she's in heaven that she doesn't have to like go out with that ogre Ben, you know?
I don't know. I've never met Ben. I can't say if he's an ogre or not. And also, maybe instead of pushover, it would be caring. He has a caring nature.
See, I was expecting this like sassy kind of like Jenna Burke like blogger vibe from you, and I feel like you're too like nice. I want this. Where's the sassy eye rolling page? Can we bring her back?
I'm sorry. I don't know what you want me
I
to
don't know.
do.
I don't know. You're just, this is the first time I've been very surprised by somebody's personality. I feel like I get a good read on people, but you are completely different than what I thought.
Really?
Yeah, totally.
I mean,
I just thought you would be
I,
more of,
you were so excited to have me on.
what?
You were so excited to have me on the show. Now I feel bad that I'm not
Oh,
everything that you hoped and dreamed me to
I
be.
know. I mean, it is, but it's in a different way. Like I mean, I feel like you're the antithesis to my like reality expertise. I was expecting like I was just expecting a little bit more like cattiness. Maybe it's just because I bought into the edit, which is a good question. Like, do you feel like you came off better on Bachelor Pad versus how you came off on The Bachelor?
I wouldn't say that I like came off better or worse on either one necessarily. Like I wasn't upset with any of the edits I got either time because like whatever, it's TV. But I feel like what you saw of me on the Bachelor pad, maybe it's because like you kind of saw a relationship with, Reed and I kind of that was more of we had a little bit more
Mhm.
time together, so I think that you probably saw more of what really is me versus on the Bachelor when you didn't see as much as me and you saw more of my snarky faces.
As a
Which like really they're not snarky. Like I just kind of make a lot of faces. Like if I'm sitting here and I go, like it looks snarky if you don't know what context it's in, but sometimes like I'm just making that face and it's like permanently
I
stuck like
don't
this.
I don't know. I mean, I know it's so funny to say. I know I keep going back to this Starbucks thing, but that's the example that I use. Like I felt like the page that I
Oh God, are
saw.
you trying to get a like promotion?
No, it's just like when I'm on a point, like when I'm on a metaphor, a mercifor, I feel like I will never sort of like get off of it, you know? And like what I mean is like I felt like if they mess up your drink, I felt like based on the edit, you were the type of person that would like, snap your finger or like do something instead of like apologize for their mistake, which is what I'm feeling like you are now.
Oh gosh, no, I'm not apologizing for anything and I don't think that any mistakes were made and I made the faces that I made and it is what it is. Like it, there's nothing to like I don't know.
Well,
It's
okay,
all
I want to
me. It is.
let's
You're seeing like different sides of my personality, I
it's
guess.
true. I am. I am. Um I wanted to ask you with regard to like the other girls, do you feel like some of them are just there as sort of fodder to get on the Bachelor pad? Do you feel like they're just trying to like use the Bachelor as one big audition to get on the Bachelor pad?
Oh, I've never thought of that. Hmm. I don't know. I think that's kind of an interesting question because this is only going to be the fourth
Mhm.
season of The Bachelor pad. So I don't know if that's so much in the forefront of someone's mind. I think if, anyone kind of had the wrong intentions when going onto the show, that they would probably be going on for The Bachelor because it's,
Yeah, I guess I
that's
don't know.
the
I
only
just feel
season
like
that's
sometimes
available.
they know that they're not really there for like Sean. They know Sean's never gonna pick them. So by like, getting drunk or like picking fights or, being insane at like a romance thing, it's kind of like, oh, they have to put me on Bachelor Pad now, you know? I just want to see if like while you were there you got that vibe at all or no.
No, but I mean, I really
There for
wasn't
that long.
around a lot of the girls very long to really, yeah, get a good read on everyone's intentions. And I hope for his sake that they're all there for the right reasons, but you never
Why
know. I guess we're going to find out as the season goes on.
why did Casey get a bad rap for like sort of coming back? And even though you were sort of like part of this like ABC family, how come nobody really cared about like you being there?
Probably because I was only on one episode of The Bachelorette and Casey made it a lot farther on The Bachelor. So I was kind of also going in with a fresh slate, even though I had been in the house before. I had only been in the house for like
Hmm.
a day, and I had a very drastically different experience. So people probably cared that she was back because she had gone through the
Yeah.
motions before. And, like you said, like you could tell that she knew what she was doing. And it's because, she had done
Did
it.
the other girls know that like because they seemed I felt like some of them obviously picked up that Casey was there. Did anybody sort of pick up that you were on? What are you looking at? Something is distracting you. I want to know what it is.
Nothing's distracting me. Sorry.
Okay. Oh my God, what are you doing? I have to know. It's killing me.
I'm really not doing anything. I cussed my heart.
No, you're looking at something. I
And
want
I'm
to know
not
what
going
you're
to tell you.
looking
It's
at.
a secret.
Okay, fine.
It's a
Um,
dog.
I just wanted to see if you sort of like if other girls recognized you or did not happen at all. I don't know what you're looking at. It's driving me. Okay, for the next for my next question, I'm going to do exactly what Paige does, and everybody tell me if you don't find it distracting. Okay?
Okay, that's enough.
Okay.
Stop. I won't look anywhere. I'll
No, it's
try not
fine.
to.
It's
I
fine.
promise.
But did other girls recognize you?
Yeah, I think it happened like once or twice.
And who was it that recognized you?
Oh God, I don't really remember because I had just come into the house. Like I didn't really know anyone else's names yet. So if it would have happened later in the night, then that would have been
Do
one
you
thing.
think that it was pre-planned that Sarah would be the one that got the bungee jump date?
Oh gosh, I don't know.
'Cause
She is so incredibly brave. Like that girl, like Lindsay came in and she said that she has some balls, but I think Sarah's the one with the balls.
Um, I like Sarah. Like I just I'm sure she's not like talking about the disability all the time. But you feel like that's what's being shown to us. Like there's no way she just talked about that the whole time. But I feel like every confessional, every scene she has with Sean, it's about the arm.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
Um, let's see. How, well,
That wasn't a
I
very good
told you I'm going to
response.
be
I'm
asking
sorry.
I'm going to be asking the tough questions here. How does Bachelor Pad casting work versus Bachelor?
um, for me, it was really similar, except for the fact that I didn't have to make a casting video for The Bachelor because, you know, I had already made one. But I mean, I don't know because I didn't go through the traditional casting process then for The Bachelor, so I can't really explain how they're different.
Um, did you have any misgivings about coming back and doing The Bachelor? Like, I mean, to put it bluntly, Paige, like, was it a concern to like come back and say and risk that you might be a two-time loser?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely was a little bit worried about going back into the house the second time. Um, and I did think about the fact that I could be a two-time loser, and obviously I was. But I, had made up my mind that I was going to go and I was going to give this another shot, and I would do the same exact thing if I had the opportunity to, go back and change my mind. I wouldn't change my mind, but
Um, do you do you sort of like regret that you didn't put more of yourself out there? Is there anything you could have done differently? Could you have just like talked more about like, oh, Sean, you look like, could you have catered to his ego a little bit more to maybe give you another night in the house that maybe would have resulted in something? Or do you just feel like that's what was meant to be?
I kind of feel like that was just what was meant to be. I don't, I don't know about anything that I really could have done differently. Um, Maybe I could have interrupted some more of
Right.
his time and, tried to monopolize him a little bit more. But it's really it's really difficult when you're in a house with 25 extremely pretty girls all chasing after the same guy to like I'm pretty competitive by nature, but not really like that. Like if I was, in a normal life situation out at a bar and there were a bunch of women going after the same guy, I probably wouldn't be the one of those women to go up and, throw myself at this person, like
Why? Just because that's not your style? Like you're not aggressive?
well, just because there's a lot of other guys out there. You know what I mean? I'll go and I'll talk to one of them and they probably have less of an ego and are
Hmm.
nicer, So that would be kind of the situation I would take in real life. So it was a little bit different for me on The Bachelor, and I don't know, maybe I could have gone up and tried to talk to him once more, but it is what it is. I can't go back and change it. I'm not gonna like dwell on it too
Did
much.
he recognize you from Bachelorette, or did you just have to tell him?
Right out of the limo, I walked up to him and I was like, I have a confession to make. I was on the
Hmm.
Bachelor pad, and I did it that way for two reasons. One being that, you know, I didn't really want him to feel like I was hiding that from him, and I didn't want him to go into the house and have someone else tell him. And for the viewers who also watch the Bachelor pad, I didn't want them to be like, well, why isn't she
Right.
telling him? Right. So I just figured it would be better that I was upfront about that. So yeah, he didn't ask. I told him. I don't know if he watched the Bachelor pad or not, but
I want to. I know we're going to start wrapping things up, and we're getting to the merch challenge shortly. Before we do, I obviously have to ask you about what you thought about Nick Peterson's decision, and I also have a Nick Peterson story for you.
I'm so excited. Well, which do you want first? Do you want my
Well, we end with the main event. The
how
main
I
event
felt
is going to be
about?
the story. So, like, let's go with what you. You don't bury the lead. So let's go first with like what you thought about his decision to screw over Rachel.
Um, you know, Honestly, I think that it was kind of greedy. I understand why he did it, but I don't know, I understand both points of view. Honestly, I really do. Here's the deal. So, in the very first episode, I voted Nick off and I told him that I wouldn't. So I felt a little bit bad, and that is that is probably the main reason that I voted for the Nick and Rachel duo at the very end. It was because I felt like I owed a vote to Nick, that
Wait,
I
wait,
had
wait. Oh
lied to him
man, now
about
I'm
the
I'm
fact
starting to
that,
wait. You voted him off in like the first episode?
yeah,
Oh, Paige, we can't even be friends
yeah.
anymore
Why?
because I love Nick. I forgot about that fact.
I love Nick too. I think he's awesome, okay? But I was trying to play the game smart. The two names on the chopping block were Nick and SWAT.
Oh yeah,
Obviously, I
okay,
wanted to
okay.
keep around a
It's
super
true.
fan.
Okay, all right, all
Yeah.
right.
So I was playing smart, but having voted Nick off, I felt like I kind of owed him a vote in the finale. So I voted for him. And when he, pulled the whole thing with Rachel, I was super surprised. I could understand why he did it in the fact that he really did get to the end by himself up to like that last couple of challenges, where he was with Rachel, but Rachel got to the end by herself too, and she did earn the 125 grand. She deserved that
Uh,
for sure. So I feel really bad for her,
uh,
but it made great
I
TV.
do not agree. I do not agree. I do not agree. Okay, she didn't even want to stay when Michael left. Okay, everything that Nick said was the complete truth. He was doing all the work. Like I understand that she like kept it was her friends that kept him in, but ultimately she wouldn't have even been there. Like I'm just very team Nick
Okay, but she did stay, and that's the
because
thing.
of
Like, it's
him.
not like
Because of
anyone,
him.
you know, because no, after Michael left, she didn't stay for Michael. He had left. She stayed for herself and for the money. It's not like anyone put a ball and chain on her and said that you have to stay in this house no matter what. She made that decision by herself. She stayed by herself and she powered through whatever emotions that she was having, which we all know can be pretty difficult. So she still deserved it. You're wrong.
Your Spice girl power is clouding your reason, Paige. It's clouding your reason. But We will debate the merits of this at some point. I want to tell you my big Nick story. Are you ready?
I was born
Okay.
ready.
So I kept telling you about all these like different reality events that we go to, um, and we go to this one in Florida, and basically it's like a very intense like Survivor kind of event. The survivors are kind of like the Angelina Jolies. Like it's built around them, and then all the other reality people are kind of like they're kind of like the stepchildren at the end of the line. And I was sitting beside Nick um, a year or 2 years ago, and they gave a damn about us. Nobody even knew who we were. Okay, we were just sitting there, and I go to Nick. I'm like, I don't even know why I even came. Like, nobody cares about us. They're only here for the survivors. And Nick is like, I know what you mean. And so we went back to that event a year later, and I could just tell that Nick had like changed a lot. Like he had this like swagger that I'm trying to like pick up for myself. And I could just tell that he was like a changed guy. And I cannot wait, Paige. I cannot wait for this event this year because those same people that were like ignoring Nick, just like they did in the house, just like how they just completely ignored the guy, are now going to be like the first in line because he won. And that to me, Paige, that shows you this sort of dichotomy of society. Sorry, I know it's getting very deep, but that's how I feel.
That is
You know
deep.
what I mean? Like these same people that didn't even give a crap about the guy, now that he's won, you know what I'm talking about. They're gonna like, oh Nick, can I marry you? And Nick, you're the same one who like walked by him 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Anyway, maybe
Yeah, I mean, you're right.
and that's why I like it, and that's why I feel like I loved what he did. Like it was just so. It's why I watch reality. That was like one of the few moments that got me like standing, that got me like screaming at my TV. I was like about to like pull out a Hulk Hogan and like rip my shirt off because I was so excited.
Yeah. Well, that's intense.
It was a pretty. It was a pretty. It was a pretty intense moment. I've watched it like anyway. Okay, we're getting into it. So that's my next story. Before we get to the Murtz challenge, I know you can't sort of tell us who your favorite still is on The Bachelor, but how about this? Like, are there any people that you would like to see do well? You can give me a few names just to like cloud it.
Um, who I would like to see do well. Okay, well, I did like Desiree a lot. And I obviously want Casey to go far. Um, I think I really liked Katie, who left this last week, and I was really sad about. She was a really sweet girl. I really liked Ashley, who was the personal organizer
Yes.
too. So, yeah, and watching it back, um, I'm kind of starting to get a different feel on Lindsay, and I'm really excited to see more of her. I didn't really get to talk to her much that first night, and my really only impression was that she probably had had a little bit too much to drink and she was in a wedding dress. But watching her come out of the limo and tell Sean that she had balls, and like some of the things that she said were so funny. And then watching her on the second episode, just, be like, yeah, the champagne was flowing. Like she just straight up admitted it. Like, girlfriend is funny. And I didn't really see that side to her much. So I'm actually really looking forward to seeing more of her on the show because I think she's really surprised me at every turn. Anything she could surprise me with, like I feel like I've just been surprised up to this point. So I can't wait to see what she does
What
next
about
week.
Selma? Selma is like the hottest girl that's ever been on this show, and I feel like he doesn't even see that.
Yeah, she's a babe.
So why doesn't he see it?
You can't even like look at her because her like hotness like burns your
Yeah.
eyes. You're like, oh my god, she's so beautiful. I can't
So is
even
that
look
what
at
it
her.
is? Is he just too intimidated?
I mean, I don't know who wouldn't be. Like, I am totally straight, but even I was intimidated by Selma's beauty. She's just like crazy hot.
Paige, I have a like a checklist. It's called. Oh wait, I did also at the beginning of the show say I wanted to definitely get you to pronounce your last name because I feel like it's not Vigil.
It's not. It's Vigil. It's Spanish, so the G is pronounced like an H.
Um. Okay, so Vigil. Do you
Yeah.
like? No, I'm not. I was gonna say it, and then people always get in trouble when I was gonna say. No, I'm not gonna say it. That's another off-air thing. Remind me to tell you something off-air. Re your last name.
Okay.
I have a whole checklist of stuff that I want from you. A, app. B, introduction to Selma. C, agreeance with me that Rachel should not have gotten any of that money. In that order.
Well, you're definitely not getting the third.
What about the first two?
I mean, I'm not that close with
Oh,
Selma. I wasn't there that long, but I'll do my best for you. Okay, I'll
okay.
do my best. I cross my heart.
And we'll talk about the app.
And then
We'll talk about the app.
we can we can talk about your
Okay,
app.
here we
Yeah.
go. It is time for my favorite part of the show and yours. Who will ever forget? I know I won't. When Jacqueline Schwartz got her Murtz challenge, and well, you can go back and watch the archive to see exactly what she did. Paige, are you ready? Are you ready for the best part of the show? Are you ready for your Murtz challenge?
I don't know. I don't know. Am I ready?
I think you're ready.
Okay, I'm
Okay,
ready.
so we
Okay.
talked about this. You know, there was a lot of debate about what your Murtz challenge was going to be, but I think we settled on. Wait, how did we phrase? I don't even know how I was supposed to phrase it. How was I supposed to phrase? It was like an audition for a rock band. Is that what it was?
I don't remember
Wait, wait.
either.
It had something to do with. It had. How do I even say this? It had something to do with your tongue.
Uh-huh.
So give me a way that I can like phrase this so that it does not sound like I'm some guy at the park with like cameras on his shoes.
Okay, so with cameras on his shoes. Wow.
Somebody said,
Wow. I did have someone, true story, try and take a picture up my skirt in Times Square once.
okay, details. What happened? Did they have like cameras on their shoes?
No, they weren't on their shoes. They like held a camera down as I
No.
was walking past
In
them
their
and
hand?
like
What did the guy
yeah,
look like? What did the
in
guy
their
look? I
hand.
love stories like this. What did the guy look like?
He like had a hat and a hood, like so I couldn't really see him and I was so shocked. I like turned around and I was like, did that seriously like what? And then like other people realized too it wasn't just me and I was like, should I chase him down? And then I was like, I think my bag was in the way. I'm probably okay. Like I was wearing underwear. Like, is that really something that like okay.
So you didn't. Okay,
Whatever.
wait. So give me the
Yeah.
demographic of this dude. Like, was he like 60? Was he like 20?
Are you gonna go find him for me,
I
Mark?
just because I'm riveted by like one of the things people always ask me is like, why do you keep going to these reality events? Aren't you sick of it by now? You spend your entire life like going to these things. And I said, I gave up going to meet the reality show people a long time ago. I am obsessed with the other people that go to these events. The people that like, just do not leave their house. They're just sitting there watching Big Brother live feeds all day. Them going to the Big Brother finale is the first time they've been outside of their house in like 7 years. Like so
Right.
stories about these kinds of people I find very interesting. So that's why I'm asking you all these questions because I just want to like see like what type of person would do that. How old do you have to be to do that?
I honestly don't know. I wasn't paying attention until I turned around and I saw his
So you
back.
don't.
Probably about, yeah, 6 foot.
So like younger, not older.
Walked very fast. He was a very fast walker.
Wow,
I would
I
have
can't
had to
even
have
believe
run
that.
to have caught him.
I can't even believe
Yeah,
that.
I know.
Okay,
Me either. Okay, so
okay. How do I phrase it? How
my
do I?
I have a really long tongue. I have
Okay.
a really long tongue. It's kind of like Gene Simmons from Kiss, and so I think that my Mertz challenge was if I was to join a rock
Yes. Okay. There we
band,
go.
what rock band would I join and
Yeah,
why?
perfect. I couldn't have even phrased it.
But
I don't even know why I'm here. You could just run the merch show yourself.
I'm doing it
Okay.
myself. Okay, I did minor in journalism, so Mertz, I
Oh my
got
God!
this.
Wait. Oh, see, I knew there was a reason. Okay, now it's all coming back to me because I'm going back to my page file from the Bachelorette, and that's why you became my favorite because we had the whole like journalism connection.
Yeah, I was communications and
Perfect.
journalism.
Okay, I'm ready. Let's see it.
Oh
Let's see it.
yeah. Okay.
Wait,
Okay, ready?
can you touch your nose with it? I knew it. There. Okay. Look now. See that is the challenge.
Pretty good one.
That was
Yeah.
amazing. That was amazing. Paige,
Thank you.
I wanted to thank you. This was a big, big show. I bring you up. You can ask any of these like Bachelor. Ask Natalie Getz. Ask Deanna Pappas. Ask Holly. Ask Casey, who I think I texted literally like 5 times a day for the last 4 days, going, "Listen, I'm getting a vibe from Paige. I think she's telling me yes, but I feel like she's gonna flake on the day off."
I'm not a flake. That's the thing. Like if I tell you yes, I will do it. But the thing is I won't tell you yes unless I can 100% commit.
I know, and this is the earliest Murtz show, Paige, I have ever done. We usually do this show at like 1 a.m. Central Time. Okay, so I'm just so
Thank you
so
for
if
doing
we're
this for
making a
me.
list here, Paige, I'm giving up the American Idol season premiere. I'm doing this show when I'm usually like just waking up. Like this is usually my like breakfast time. Okay. All for you, all
Mm-hmm.
for Paige, all for my favorite from The Bachelor and Bachelor Pad. Paige, thank you so much. Oh wait, let's get to your plugs. So at Paige Vigil. Any other
Mm-hmm.
websites or anything?
I'm on Instagram, which is Paige G
Oh,
Vigil. So you can follow
a
me on
lot of
Instagram,
originality
and
there.
if you want to add me on Facebook, I know. You know what? The G is for my middle name. It stands for Geraldine, which is actually kind of a crazy middle name. So that's a little original,
Okay, wait.
okay?
I just messed up my own Twitter address. Hang on. I told you it's been a while since I've been on this thing. Wait, take this off. Chat. Put on screen. Okay, there. That's it, right? Oh,
No, you did it
bro, that's
wrong.
not your Twitter?
No, that's
Okay,
my
okay,
Twitter. But my
okay. Instagram.
Instagram is not that. My Instagram has a G
Okay,
in the middle of Paige and
okay.
Vigil.
Wait, I'll make that distinction.
And Instagram is my favorite form of social media.
Mine too. Wait, hang on.
Really?
I just got an iPhone. I was Team BlackBerry. I own Team BlackBerry shirts. I used to I kept hashtagging Team BlackBerry. I didn't talk to Eliza for like 3 months when she got an iPhone because I told her that she turned on our cause. And then I got one, and it's like life changing. It's like the greatest thing of all time, especially Instagram. You are right.
Yeah. Especially if you were on BlackBerry before, you needed to get your SHIT
Um,
together.
well, you must be really good at like knowing what apps to get, right?
Yeah, I mean, I know a few.
Okay, can you like email those to me? I feel like you'd be good at like app recommendations.
Honestly, like I like more practical apps than I do the fun ones, so I might not
Why?
be the best person
What's a
for you.
practical example?
I don't know, like movie phone.
Okay. Yeah, that's not really that.
I
I
know,
figured you'd know
sorry.
like some like secret that like solved the world's problems.
Yeah, no, I haven't even found out how to solve the world's problems. So if you figure that out, feel free to let me
Perfect.
know.
It is 10 o'clock. I told you I would not go over by even a second. That is it for the Murtz Show. Everybody stay tuned at themurtzshow.com for our next show, probably next weekend. This is Murtz. That's Paige. We got to end with. Oh, wait. We got to do this for our website. I'm so glad I remembered. You just got to go like this. It's the Murtz sign and hold it for like 3 seconds.
Really? Okay.
Perfect. We are good. Paige, thank you so much. I will talk to you soon.
You're welcome.
Bye,
Okay.
all.
Bye.